Evening, everybody. It's Friday night. It's more or less 10 o'clock. Welcome to What's on Your Mind. As you can see, the honcho and I are in the house tonight with the guys from Grindstone Toys, the brains behind the Callsign Longbow Kickstarter. That is Troy McKee. That is John Kukovic. We'll be back with them in just a minute after I play our kick-ass theme song. Once I find our kick-ass theme song. Here it is.
Did you lose it?
Welcome back. We're here to try and get more of your money.
Baseballs too.
But this is What's on Joe Mind. We are a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. And in tonight's case, G.I. Joe Adjacent. I am your host, Mike Irizarry. With me here in the top row, sharing his spot with the soon-to-be-retired 10-year logo, former head of marketing for the G.I. Joe brand at Hasbro. It's the Hot Show, Mark Weber.
I didn't know I was the soon-to-be-retired head of marketing for G.I. Joe either, but funny how these things creep.
You're with our soon-to-be-retired 10th anniversary logo.
Which is solid, but hey, we're moving on, right?
It is. We've passed our 11th anniversary. It's really on borrowed time at this point.
Yeah, that logo has an expiration date, and as much as we loved it, it's starting to smell. So let's get that double French fry up there, and we're good to go.
Mark, how's the last week been treating you?
Pretty good, other than I had to play basketball today. I'm so bad at basketball. Ugh. But I got roped into a 3-on-3 tournament by two high school kids. You got to have a one teacher, two kids, one teacher in the school tournament. So they came in and said, "Hey, Mr. Weber, you play on our team?" And I said, "Boys, everybody is a better option than me. So you won't hurt my feelings. Go check with everybody else. And if it's all no's, then yes, I'll fill out your trio here." And their answer was like, "Yeah, we checked with everybody. You're the only one left." And I'm like, "Sweet."
You are the last one.
So I figure, yeah, I can rebound, I'll play defense, I just won't dribble or shoot or move. And then one of the kids got sick, had to drop out. So now we play 2-on-2. So now I'm half of the team. You can't hide as half of the team. So it hasn't gone well. But you know what I'm really good at? Because I'm 6'2", 250, and these are all high school kids. I'm really good at setting screens.
I was about to say, yeah, you're like human pick.
Halfway through today's game, the guy who was guarding me would be screaming at his buddy, "Screen left! Screen right! Mr. Weber's coming to get you again!" We lost. What else is
there? That was always my game too. That was what I used to do.
You probably did pick and roll though. I just do the pick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did the pick and pop. We did the pick and roll. I had a little bit of skill at basketball. Hard to believe at this point in my life, but I could play a little.
Oh.
And but anyways, in the bottom row, he is one half of the creative process behind Grindstone Toys from Springfield, Missouri. John Kukovic is back on the program. John, how are you?
Great.
It's been a couple of months. Your absence has been longer, so I figured I'd get you introduced first.
Thanks.
I didn't know you were in Springfield either.
Yeah. I've been here for about 16 years.
It's a nice little town.
It's all right.
Oh, as John has no time for your pop culture reference, Mark Weber. None.
Fine.
There's one in every state.
That's true.
At least one in
It
every.
can be anywhere.
Yep. Good enough for Homer. So
I think in there are a couple of states where there's more than one. I don't know. That's why they did zip codes. Rather than have everybody rename their towns, they're like, "Oh, screw it. We'll just give everybody a number code." And in bottom left, in the Paul Lind Square, the other half of Grindstone Toys, it's Troy McKee.
How we doing?
his absence has been nowhere near as pronounced.
No.
No.
So Troy, you before the show, you were getting everything done for the weekend so you could put together a trampoline.
I am. I'm putting together a trampoline tomorrow. That is my primary mission for tomorrow. The warm weather is finally here, so it's time for my child to do things outside. The wind has not stopped blowing for a month and a half, so I don't know that she'll really be able to use it, but we are going to have a trampoline. So
just make sure she doesn't wear really baggy clothes because she'll bounce once and then be carried off on the gusts.
just rolling across the prairie, it would be horrible.
And every time you go outside, the young bucks are going to be bouncing around on it. Right? So,
Yep.
Do you even know the wrestling reference that he's making there?
I do. AEW, right?
I don't know if he's. I can't tell who's a wrestling fan and who's not. So.
I don't watch regularly. I was big. Reference while you were out earlier that we were talking about. I watched WCW during that 88 straight weeks when they were on top. That was when I got in, and that was my thing. And then it wasn't good.
Yeah,
and I watched. When it went off the rails, it went off the rails. So,
Firefly. If Troy doesn't say I got to bounce at the end of the show, I'll be disappointed.
Well, now I have to.
Yeah, better make some notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so May 14th, 2022 is the day that Troy decided to kill his children. So everybody's prepared.
Can I sign her cast? Oh,
You
wait.
bet.
Spoiler.
Don't want everybody to sign it.
Yeah, see, Mark's kids are a little older. He's fought these wars. He knows these things.
I lost those wars, all of them.
Yeah. I think that's the rule, isn't it?
Now we're ready for a third kid. Hey, Michelle. Nah, it's still no.
Yeah, you better clear that with the boss first.
No more.
Anyways, if you're watching us tonight on YouTube, thank you so much. Please give our video a like, subscribe to our channel. That's the thing you can do to help us out the most, regardless of where you are, is find us on YouTube, subscribe, watch videos. If you're watching us on Facebook, go ahead and give us some kind of an emoticon reference thing. Give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a little huggy guy. We love little huggy guy. And we have an assortment going tonight. We've had a laughing face. We've got a wow face. We've got hearts. We've got all kinds of weird stuff going on. So
angry guy? I like angry guy.
You do not have angry guy yet.
Because at least it's honest. Right?
I mean,
I'm hearing I'm mad about it. I said I'd never come back.
Right.
Or it might be one of those where someone tuned in and they're like, oh, this is another one of those. There's a cool Kickstarter going on that needs a little bump, and what's on Joe Mind is going to help. This is not that show.
No, we were
at all
in that show.
Yeah.
And then you went and funded in 24 hours, took the steam right out of it.
Yeah. We have been that show, and we might be again. Who knows? But this is not that episode.
Right, there's an angry guy. Charlie Harrison helping us out with an angry dude.
I appreciate him being upset.
There you go. Charlie Garrison's here every week, man. He does whatever we ask him to do. We love him. But yes, the Callsign Longbow Kickstarter. We've been after folks about this project for 11 months. 11 months ago was the first time you guys came on to plant the seeds on this bad boy. So they've been hearing about us for hearing about you from us for a long time now.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the fast funding.
Thank you. Yeah, that went quick.
That's what she said.
But yeah, it was just a matter of hours. You passed a stretch goal already. We'll get more into the specifics in a couple of minutes. Let's first go ahead and pick up some community calendar. As soon as I find the community calendar thing.
Man.
I keep flipping away from the buttons, and every time I do that, they reset.
I think Rob moved it.
No, he doesn't have that kind of power. Not yet, anyway. He'll figure it out. But
there's a Comic-Con or a toy show. What's on Joe Mind? Wants to know? Tell Mike, Mark, and Joe. Community calendar.
catchy.
It's worth it every time to see Mark's face when the Joe Colton image goes by.
Part of it's a cold image. Part of it is, you know what? Second billing. Didn't take that long, did it? Ooh.
It did set up our humorous exchange of photos pretty well, though. Got to
Yeah.
give our friend James some credit on that one. Not noted author James Kavanaugh. That's Agent Chuckles James Booth. So, anyways, first up, back again. It's tomorrow. It's ToyCon 4, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Elks Lodge in Hamden, Connecticut. $2. Kids get in free. You can't beat $2, can you? Mark, you making the run to Hamden, Connecticut? You were up in the air about this last week.
Dude, tomorrow's just packed full of soccer games and prom. So yeah, I'm wrapped up.
How soon till Derek is involved with that sort of thing?
No, Derek's doing this. Our school, we go to a very small school, right? Private school, and everybody goes to prom. There's no stigma to going stag. So
Okay.
everybody's going, whether there's a date on their arm or not, and that's alien to me because when I was in high school and dinosaurs roamed the earth, nobody went stag. Right? If you went stag, you were a loser and an idiot, and I was only one of those things. So, but Derek went as a freshman. The whole high school's invited. It's a small school, and I dropped him off last year and thought, God, I hope this goes well. Because I got no control over how this goes. I can't even go in and look. I said, just text me if you need to pick up. Otherwise, I'll be here in 4 hours. And I showed up 4 hours later, and he came out dripping in sweat because he had danced his ass off for 4 hours straight. And he said, with some of the best words you'll ever hear, he just said, Dad, I had the best time. And I'm like, you know what?
Hey,
Full win. So
there you go. That's all you can ask for right there.
Yep. So he's misplaced the black slacks and the tie we bought 4 months ago. Because, yeah. So we have to go buy new pants and a tie tomorrow. But other than that, he's all set for prom. He has a shirt. The only thing he didn't lose is the shirt I bought that he hasn't worn yet. So, like to appreciate Derek for digging into the toy allowance. I said this morning, I said, how much do you think that new tie is going to cost you, Derek?
These prom memories brought to you by ToyCon 4.
That's it.
Tomorrow, Hamden, Connecticut, Elks Lodge, 10 to 3.
Kids get in free, whether or not they have a tie or not.
Right. No ties required.
Right. There's no dress code.
What would a toy show with a dress code be?
I mean, it'd be a low bar, I'm for sure. Right.
Yeah. Right.
Must,
I mean, we
must have
even
pants slash
there's
shorts.
guys showing up with black T-shirts that only cover half of their gut.
Yeah, I would think you'd start with must have pants slash shorts slash Zubas slash jorts slash kilts.
I don't know.
Like
That seems
some
like a lot to ask.
Some kind of coverage down there.
Well,
No Dr. Manhattan cosplay allowed.
Next up, this one brought to us by Andrew Garrison. This is the Great Smoky Mountains G.I. Joe and action figure show. This is in Clinton, Tennessee, at the Tennessee National Guard Armory. Also tomorrow, 11 to 4. Early bird is at 10. Entries $5. Kids 12, veterans and kids 12 and under are free. If you need more information on this, I know this is the first time we got this on. Even though it is just tomorrow, you can go ahead and head over to Facebook. You want to hit up the SSCC Army Group South, or check out the email that is listed on the screen there, which I can't even make heads or tails of that one. So anyways, pause the video if you're really interested, or just go check them out on Facebook, and I'm sure they'll be happy to give you all the details.
I like the veterans part. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
The kids,
Yeah. God forbid we get kids in the toy show.
darn kids.
I believe. Okay, I see it now. SSCC is 6th Scale Collectors Club. So there you go. Bunch of 12-inch guys.
So to speak. So they claim.
Right. The popular claim.
They say they say 12-inch, but it's really 6.
More like 4.
Oh, 3/4. Hey!
Hey.
Or the poor Sigma 6 guys with their 2.5-inch
Right.
figures.
John Kukovic, on your vast bookshelves back there, you got any 12-inch Joes?
Yeah, there is one.
Just one, huh?
Just one. The others are downstairs.
All right. There's more of them then. That's cool. I thought I was setting us up with a bad 12-inch collection, but you're doing okay.
Hold on. I'm pretty sure this is every bit of 12 inches, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're good.
Looks like it to me.
We're good then.
It's tough to tell scale when you're in the little side window.
It's not the size of the figure; it's how you use it.
Or so they tell us.
Right.
Anyways, next up, May 14th and 15th. That is tomorrow and Sunday. This is where Joe Colton's on her way to, which is why she's not with us tonight. She's on assignment. In Virginia Beach, Virginia, it's Tidewater Comic Con. Saturday, 10:30 to 6. Sunday, 11:30 to 4. More info at tidewatercomiccon.com. Guests include Brandon Routh, John Wesley Shipp, AEW's Jungle Boy.
There we go.
There you go, Troy McGee. And, of course, G.I. Joe favorite Michael Bell will be in the house at Tidewater. Joe Colton is not on our guest list there because she's not going as an exhibitor. She is just going as a fan.
And just watch her husband pin Jungle Boy.
Right. The wrist lock going for that late career resurgence.
Yeah. Hey, Marco Stunt gets into that show free, so that's good.
He does. Well, I mean, 12 and under, right?
Mm.
Or 5 feet and under. Poor, we should make fun. He's freshly out of a gig.
Yeah.
We should make fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you're in Virginia Beach, if you're out on the East Coast, stop in, keep an eye out for Joe Colton. She'll punch you in the throat, so be careful.
She will.
Tomorrow and Sunday. She may punch you in the throat both days.
You may have to take a number.
Yeah, she offered tonight, for the record, she offered to be on the show from the car.
Mm-hmm.
Like she did that infamous night where we actually revealed news.
Yeah. But she also prefers to drive.
Yeah.
And so we thought,
Yeah, but that's a combination that is perhaps liable in a court of law.
right? Let's take a former Canadian drift champion, have her do a live stream broadcast from the car in motion while she competitively eats. Probably steering the car with her giant toe. Just bad idea all around.
I have missed a lot from the chat. Good Lord. So anyways, I'll try and get caught up on that later. Next up, everybody's trying to announce stuff in the chat. Right? I'm not even through community calendar yet.
That's not how it works.
Come on. Next up, Robo Toy Fest, also known as the Pasadena G.I. Joe Show. That is Sunday, May 15 at the Pasadena Convention Center. We kept the picture of our buddy Morgan Lofting up. Other G.I. Joe guests include Larry Houston, Jay Sullivan, Keone Young. General admission is $10 online in advance. I'm not sure if that's still open or not. I would imagine so. It's not Sunday yet. $15 at the door. VIP access and exclusives are available. So be sure to check out the website, robotoyfest.com, for details.
You haven't lived till Morgan Lofting has called you darling.
Last week I started to tell the story of how the first time I met Morgan Lofting, she punched me. And I never got around to it. I said, I'll tell it at the end of the show. And then I never did. So it was we're at JoeCon. It is Joe Colton's first cosplay panel. First time she's ever done anything like that. It's about 10 minutes before she starts. She comes up to me and she says, "Hey, I'm really nervous about this. Could you sit in the front row and yell stuff at me during the panel?" and I'm kind of stunned because I'm sitting there in my front row seat, and I say, "Okay, so you want me to heckle you during your first ever appearance at a professional toy show? You want me to heckle you?" And she was like, "Yes." Very clearly said, "Yes." So I'm like, "All right, I guess I got this." And so Morgan knew Joe already, and she was sitting in the second row. And so I'm doing my thing. I'm trying to encourage Joe to make conversation. I'm going pretty easy. I'm not being a full asshole that I can be in those situations. And like Morgan Lofting just got very tired of me and was like, "Be quiet. Let her do her thing." It's like, she asked me to do this. Stop hitting me, Morgan Lofting. And Rob vouches. She did actually do this. I was a witness. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you lies about this stuff.
You got bitch slapped by the Baroness.
Right. So yeah, we got it straightened out after. So it was something. Something.
Some guys would pay for that. I'm sure guys have bought artwork of that, right? Will you draw me a picture?
I'll recreate the pose. You can all get it on your phones.
There's your new avatar.
All right. But next up, if you're out west, out on the West Coast, hit up Pasadena. And of course, Roma Collectibles, the toy store, presents the Parking Lot Toy Show. Racktime Rob and I will be at this one. This will be on Sunday, May 22nd from 10 to 4 at the Roma Collectibles parking lot. They are not lying to you. 15 collectible vendors. Attendance is free. Really, if you're in the parking lot, technically you're at the show, so what the heck. That's at Springfield, Ohio. Head over to Catch Roma Collectibles on Facebook if you need more details. But really, just show up at the address on the screen, and you're at the show. Sunday, May 22. That's a week from Sunday.
And He-Man's still backed up, apparently.
Yeah. He looks annoyed that Optimus Prime is standing a little too close to him.
Judging him.
Like Prime bumped him one too many times. Rob asked, "Do you get a prize for collecting all the vendors?" Yes, you do. You'll have to talk to Aaron about that one. Aaron Dietrich, the guy who owns Roma Collectibles, you'll have to ask him about what that prize is. But go ahead, pick up all 15 vendors, win a prize at the Roma Collectibles parking lot sale. Oh yeah, Rob also backing up. Joe did demand to be heckled, so there we go. Rob is proving witness to the entire story that I gave moments ago. That's collect all 15 vendors, get a prize. Roma Collectibles. Troy, you going to be at that one?
No, I don't think I'm going to make it to that one. I'd like to.
I mean, you got another trampoline to build, or what? What's your excuse?
Well, I don't know. You think I can bounce that far?
I think you can.
Is that the right Springfield for John?
Aren't they all the same? Aren't there just tubes shooting from one to the next?
Mystic portal.
That would be awesome.
I see Jeff Strobel is in the house. And you might ask, who the hell is Jeff Strobel? So do I, all the time.
Cool.
But only here when his buddy's on the show. Not here any other time. It's fine, Jeff. Not getting any closer to making a return run to What's on Joe Mind with that sort of behavior.
That's tough. Tough love.
Tough but fair. I just encouraged him by calling him out like that, so I'm sure we'll get more from him as the show goes on. And then finally for tonight on Community Calendar, it's the Yo G.I. Joe Collector's Toy Show. Orlando, Florida on Sunday, May 29 from 9 to 3. At the VFW Post 4287, they'll have a Terradrome on display. They'll have a flag on display. Good on them. Can't beat 40-plus tables of G.I. Joe. But that's all the information I've got on this. They are on Facebook too, so if you need to know more about this particular show, head on over to Facebook, type Yo G.I. Joe into your search, and this site should come up for you because that's how I found them. I mean, tell me you're making this one, Troy.
Yeah, I think this one I'll probably get to.
Yeah. Just pop over to Orlando.
Right. So it's got that huge airport. You're just in and out. It's Memorial Day weekend. Come on, man. Come on.
Bring your daughter and don't take her to Disney World. Father,
There you go.
We're going to the toy show.
I'm actually doing a toy show in Denver. I do not remember which weekend now. I'm kind of thinking it's the weekend of the 29th, but now that I say that, maybe it's the weekend of the 22nd. There's just it's just called the Retromania Toy Show, and it's a new one that somebody's starting up. So I'm actually going to a show some weekend. I should really figure that out before we get to that. But
if you get the details on that and send them to me,
yep,
I can promote your appearance here in Community Calendar.
there we go. Yeah, I'll find that information here and get it over to you this week.
That's how these things go, you know.
Russell Wilson will be signing at his booth. Card subject to change.
Remember, if you have a show happening near you, we'll be happy to plug the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just
wait till the show and put it in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. Don't wait till the day before we broadcast. Help me out. Give me a couple of days advance notice. As that was a tough lesson that a few folks learned, unfortunately, that I cannot do anything with your community calendar entry at 7 p.m. the day. Cannot do anything with that. But yeah, if you have a show in your neighborhood, or if you're trying to promote a local group, send it to us. We are all about community projects, as you can tell by the two guys at the bottom of the screen. We are all about helping one another out here. So give us the details. We'll be happy to get it up early and often. I'm gonna
speak.
Right. I'm gonna play the theme song for that one more time because I love it.
There's a Comic-Con or a toy show. What's on your mind? Wants to know? Tell Mike, Mark, and Joe. Community Calendar.
Sitting pretty.
All right, John's like, they didn't have all this technical crap the last time I was here. What's up with this?
No,
It's blowing my mind.
right. We're leaping forward right into the late 90s, baby.
Right. You know, but yeah, I'm gonna put on some more background music. I'm gonna put on Daydreaming. We haven't done this in a few weeks, so
I was hoping for Skinner, but all right.
you know, we can't be testing the bots on YouTube. Like, that's a quick way to get demonetized. This is relaxing for the news.
It's debatable.
So, first news item.
Doo-doo.
Yeah, here's our Friday reveal. This is the thing that annoyed me today. Thank you, Mark Weber.
You're welcome. I'm just here to help.
Simon selected this cool Snake Eyes statue. Now they're doing a repaint of it in Sunbow colors. You can have Snake Eyes in daring purple. Pre-orders are open now at Big Bad Toy Store and all of your finer toy retailers, $49.99. Expected delivery August of this year, later this summer. So, neat statue again. Great deal. We had to have something that was officially G.I. Joe on this, didn't we?
I think so.
I don't think that's asking. I think that's in line. On brand for a G.I. Joe podcast.
I like these statues a lot.
Oh, they're great.
And the all black version of Snake Eyes, I think, is fantastic. This one, I wouldn't need this if this was the only version. I get it. I got no problem with the repaint. That actually makes sense. No problem, but I wouldn't need this.
You don't love grape Kool-Aid snake ice? Come on.
I understand it, and it's kind of kitschy, and if it's a low run, it'll probably sell out, and it might even be more valuable, right? Because it'll be the rare one, but it doesn't. I'm not collecting this for the value of it, so I don't need an inferior version. So I'm good. That music's.
I'm tired of hearing that already.
Yeah, it was a little loud. You don't get drowned out by much, Mike, but that music was making a run at it.
I tend to move all around the microphone too, so there's times when I'm oppressive, and then there's other times where not so much. I really got to get a headset with a mic.
Ooh, yeah.
Clear up some space on the table here. We don't do that radio style podcast anymore. I don't need the radio style setup, do I?
Right.
It's only been like 2 years. I should update the equipment. Bless you.
I didn't do nothing. That's what the sneeze button's for.
Right. But now that you're done with your superfluous noises, give us another superfluous noise. Next news item.
Boop, boop, boo.
All right. Had an announcement from the folks at Eagle Force Returns. We had Bill on the program not too long ago. That was a fun show. His Joe Fest exclusive is this guy, the ASPS, Aerospace Strategic Patrol Soldiers. An image and text here, courtesy of the surveillanceport.com. Comes with all the stuff you see there. He's got an alternate head. He's got the big bowl helmet, a couple of guns, goggles, 4 sets of hands, all kinds of cool stuff. Riot's Aerospace Strategic Patrol Soldiers, or ASPS, led by former televangelist turned scientist Dr. Taipan, are Ultima Thule's aerospace division that focuses on space exploration and dominance. Many of Dr. Taipan's experiments are written off as UFO activity, which the government easily debunks, but the members of Eagle Force know better than to underestimate Dr. Taipan and the ASPS.
So this is Benny Hinn in space?
Look, I'm all for it. That is Dr. Emilio Taipan. And he dresses the same as his troops because he's one of the boys.
Good on him. I'm glad aerospace is one word, not two. Because that would change exactly how you'd spell this thing.
But he that makes it real easy to figure out who's paying on Thirsty Thursday, because he's in the rotation with everybody else.
It's a good looking pig.
It really is. I mean, all those Eagle Force figures look great.
Yep.
I really dig the aesthetic they've got and what they're going for with what they do.
I love that bubble helmet. I love that.
Yeah. There we go. I'm sorry, I'm losing buttons again.
I'm not sure my head would fit in that helmet. It's probably one of those one-size-fits-all lies.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm sure that they have this helmet. They'll have the Mark Webber Lollipop helmet.
It's pretty expensive to tool up, man.
Yeah.
Plastic.
True, but with all those Mark Webber repaints on the way.
That's true. A lot of shades of red.
And next up, next news item. There we go. Sorry, I didn't do a good job of prompting you there.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. I'm ready now, though. Ready?
No, you didn't. Oh, come on, man.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Be a professional.
Why start now? Good Lord.
Today is the last day for early enrollment on the G.I. Joe Fan Club. That's right. This is an all-new venture started by our good friend, noted author James Cavanaugh. You can see us spotlighted on last week's episode if you haven't watched it. And if the numbers hold up at all, you haven't watched it. So go ahead and check that out for more details. Enrollment cost for 2022 ending tonight, $67.25. With that money, you get a challenge coin. You get 2 collectible patches. You get 2 dog tags. One of them is personalized with your information. You get the battle ribbon pin, which will change every year. You get a personalized ID card. You get your quarterly newsletter. You get all kinds of good stuff for that $67.25. This is for the fans, by the fans. I'm excited to see how this turns out. Troy, are you in?
Yep. As soon as he had it up, I registered.
John, you in?
Yep.
Excellent. You guys always you gotta settle down and get those answers. Gotta tighten that up a little bit. Didn't know you were getting roped into doing the news, did you?
Right?
Look, you've both been on the show before. You both know how it works. You both know.
I got to be honest. I said I was in last week, and I planned to be in, but then Callsign Longbow dropped, and there went all my money. Just thousands and thousands of dollars.
And,
so
choices have to be made. Sometimes, what is that meme about when you're at the store and you find something in the wrong place? And it's like someone had to make a decision here. It's like
that's exactly right.
it happens.
No. I'm in. Of course I'm in. To float the other meme. Why not both? Right?
That was a quality suck up in front of the guests that we have on this week's show, though.
Oh, believe you me. I've been married 25 years.
Right, and you work in marketing, so there you go.
Yeah, yes.
Like,
I watch small children. It's not that different.
no, it's really not. It's not. Next news item.
Do.
Hey, we know these guys.
Oh,
Hey.
That's right. It's the Callsign Longbow Kickstarter. It's why you're all here. We will talk about this more momentarily after we hear a word from our sponsors.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
All right, I can see you guys when we go to commercial like that. So I was like, everybody took a moment, took the breath, took a swig of whatever you've got. Oh my God, he's actually going to expect us to talk now. This time he's going to want answers. But I'll have you know that I have kept the ticker up from the last time you were on the show, Troy, with the unofficial Callsign Longbow slogan. Callsign.
Picking the crotch.
So we'll let that roll up there for a while. But gentlemen, as we said at the beginning of the show, it's been a pretty good first 48 hours or so.
It went okay.
Yeah, the goal on this was $78,000. Currently, I will pull up the site right now as it stands. Currently, refresh this real quick. Got 428 backers. And the money thing hasn't popped back up yet. Come on, computer. $128,585 split. So this project is officially in the can.
Yes.
Yeah.
We get to move forward. How cool is that?
And I love that you followed the whole Ben Conway model and just went,
right.
Yeah, I don't want to sweat this one. How about we just kill it on opening day? Oh no.
Troy went and excused himself.
Right.
All right, so John, you have to talk about everything now. It's all on you.
Oh,
good job.
Apparently, when I leaned forward, I hit F5 on my keyboard and refreshed the page.
It had the stink of that to it, right? But John immediately started. He burst out into a heavy sweat when he realized.
I almost passed out.
All talking. He swooned. Some kind of strange sound, like there may have been some pants wetting. It was tough. It was tough. But yeah, Skeletron throwing some congratulations at you. 6 hours there. And not only that, at 108,000, you passed the first stretch goal.
Yeah, that first 24 hours, man. We got on that and we just kept going. So that was really great to see, especially in the beginning. We knew it was going to fund. We did not think it would fund that quickly. So that was a really good feeling to know that we had that kind of support and that people were interested in the product.
Absolutely. Well, anytime you make a figure that is this thick in the crotch,
Yeah,
people can take notice. So why don't you fill everybody in? You guys hear it in your words as opposed to mine, because they're tired of hearing this from me at this point.
I am, to be honest.
Mark is definitely tired of hearing
So
this.
tired.
What now? And again, we'll talk about the stretch goal in a second. But as far as the base package, what is involved at the base pack? What did we fund at $78,000?
So at $78,000, we funded the first 4 figures. And what you got there were Lancer, Uptown, Volk, and the GRU Spetsnaz Trooper. So you got right off the bat, you got 2 good guys and 2 bad guys, because you need that for a proper fight. And there's 1 army builder in there, so you can set that up, the odds against your good guys as much as you needed to right off the bat. And we knew when we put together the first 4, we needed to have that good balance. In case we didn't make it past the first 4, we needed to make sure that what we were putting together was a complete scenario. So that was where we started. We're with those 4 figures. And Lancer, he's kind of the main character in the face of the brand, so we had to get him in there. And Volk's the main bad guy, so we knew we had to have those 2 for certain.
Base package is already covered on the ticker roll. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Somewhere on a shelf, not too far from Mike's left hand, 48 beachheads are frustrated and nervous.
Look, except for one, they are all becrotched. So I like that term. I'm not sure why. I like that term.
This is the other meme where the guy's looking over his shoulder. At
So-
the Callsign Longbow and their amazing thick crotches.
As you said, we've got 2 bosses. We've got the lieutenant for the good guys. We got a troop builder for the bad guys. You got a battle in the box just ready to go.
Absolutely.
Now, again, first stretch goal unlocked at 108,000. Why don't we talk a little bit about Outlaw?
Sure. So you want to talk a little bit about Outlaw, John, and then I'll talk about the comic, maybe.
Yeah. Outlaw is a character. He's just kind of he's a mouthy guy. He's CQB expert, so he's used to breaking down doors, breaking into places, that sort of thing. He's kind of a favorite of mine because when Troy and I first decided that we were going to do this one mold and try to get as many things out of it as we could, we knew we wanted to get the Spetsnaz guys in there. And so it was kind of a little panic. And then I just suggested, like, hey, what if we had a guy that kind of trained with several different anti-terrorist units? So he was wearing an SAS style vest. His oversuit is like what the GSG-9 wear in Germany. I said, what about this guy? And I had really wanted to have a guy with a balaclava head in there. I'd heard that several times from people. So he kind of fit that too. So he was just kind of an all-around. He could be an army builder if you wanted him to be, but his character, even in the comic book, has some pretty cool lines. He's kind of like I said, he's kind of a smart aleck. But he's good at his job, so they keep him around.
If your job is to kick in doors on terrorists, you're going to be a little cavalier.
That's right.
But that is Outlaw. That is number 1. And what we'll say we were trying to get these guys before the show to reveal some of these mystery stretch goals. It's the second day, momentum. We've cooled off a little bit. We're like, hey, why don't we get this fired up? Why don't we reveal something on What's on Joe Mind? And they were like, absolutely not, you second-rate twat. But
Right?
say if we do get to the end of the stretch goal for Ghost, which is the second offering and the first member of the Steel Web faction, which was revealed in our program a few months ago. If we get to 108,000 before the end of the program, they're going to show us some stretch goals. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll check it periodically.
That's a challenge to you,
Right?
to the fine listeners of the
Go spread
program.
the word. Take that Kickstarter link and just vomit it all over the World Wide Web right now. We want reveals on What's on Joe Mind. So, gents, that's a good recap of the first couple of days. Literally, this is 2 days. This has been going, and you're 50 grand over your goal.
And really, we unlocked Outlaw like at midnight the day of launch, like right after I had tried to go to bed.
Right.
I was trying to stay up, and I was like, "No, it's not going to be tonight." And then, not long after I went in, then of course it happened. So, yeah, but yeah, it was really fast. And one thing I want to say, we've got the comic coming up here, and we will have that here real soon. That's just about wrapped up. We're going to make that available digitally, and we've got some colored pages we'll show here after a little bit. But there's a lot of interaction between Uptown and Outlaw in the first issue of the comic. Unfortunately, we didn't have as much time for character development as we would have liked because we needed to move the story along and keep it in 22 pages. But we did still get to keep a lot of that interaction between those two guys. So that's really good that they're both unlocked because you're going to get those with the Kickstarter. So.
Excellent. Well, you got to plant seeds. You got to leave something for issue 2.
Yep.
So, yeah. So stretch goal number 2 unlocks at 138,000. So yeah, we got 10 grand to go. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and we'll reveal some phantom stretch goals. But, you guys did have some images that you wanted to show.
Yeah. Let's let me see here. I'll do a share here. If I can figure out how to do this. I'm just going to do the whole screen.
Yeah.
It won't let me, though. Share is grayed out.
Boo.
It's Rob's fault.
Boo. Boo. Okay. So, if somebody did not watch the previous episode that you were on with us, Troy, which is, of course, a Cardinal sin, they would not necessarily know about the third faction.
That is true. They would not.
Explain what's up with Ghost and why he's exciting.
So Ghost is exciting because he is the first character from our new faction, Steel Web. So, and John is wearing a Steel Web shirt. So since I can't share, John, you should totally stand up and show them your shirts.
He's modeling.
So yeah, Steel Web is our third faction, and we are keeping them intentionally mysterious at this point. We're not sharing a lot about them. They're not actually going to make an appearance in the first issue of the comic. We've got an introduction for them kind of planned out a little later on, but they are a very different kind of threat, right? And for Longbow, their whole mission is essentially to mess with the Soviets, right? That's their job. That's their one thing. And so Steel Web is interesting because we get to throw some obstacles and some threats at the Longbow guys that they are not necessarily prepared for because it is not what they are used to dealing with. So that's a fun spoiler for us, to put our guys in some different situations. And it gives us a chance, right? With the Soviets, we're tied in a little more realistically, and the Soviets have a very specific look and feel, right? Even when we're doing made up stuff, right? It's gotta feel Soviet. With Steel Web, we get to do some more tech-based stuff with some different influences in there, and get to do some different kinds of characters too.
And so there seems to be some confusion in the chat. Ghost is a unique character. Right?
Ghost is a unique character, yes. Yeah, he is not a troop builder.
Excellent.
Steel Web, you say, huh?
Steel Web, yeah.
It's interesting. That's my nickname in high school.
That's a lie.
I thought it was Rubber Grill.
Right? Now I'm the World Wide Web. But that's 30 years will do for it.
Could be worse. But so we've got full battle in a box. We've got reinforcements. We've got mysterious, spooky third guy coming soon. What happens if at our next stretch goal past there?
So the next stretch goal past that which again, if you can, go out and check out the Kickstarter page itself. But like I said, we had images here, and I frantically trying to make the screen share work. But go out, take a look at the Kickstarter project. There you go. Thank you, Mike. So the next figure after that is actually our Marauder Gunrunners Retro Ops figure, our Marauders Task Force Retro Ops figure, and this is our partnership with Marauder. As most people know, I've been working on a lot of the Marauder product over the last number of years. I did the design work on a lot of the World War II line, on the Vietnam line, on a lot of the other stuff that MJ has cooking. So you know, I've got a fairly close relationship with MJ. He's been super supportive, and as we started out on this project, you know, he said to me, you know, someday maybe I'd really like to do an O-ring figure. You know, maybe we can fit something in your line. And you know, we jumped at the chance to do that. John's great to work with. He does, you know, fantastic stuff, and you know, this is a great way to kind of dip our toes into O-ring and have him dip his toe in O-ring, and we can you know, see how it goes, and it gives us a lot of opportunities for figures down the line. So, you know, this is a little different than most of the other Longbow offerings, but the idea behind Retro Ops, to kind of circle back to that, was John picked out a couple of figures that were some of his most popular figures. And really, we approached it from the standpoint of, okay, well, how do we retroize this? What would this have looked like in 1985 or 1986? You know, how would that have translated? So, you know, his guys are designed a little bit high tech, even by today's standards. So we went a little bit high tech for the time, but we used a lot of, you know, kind of traditional looks for things. The backpack's a real direct representation of the figure that he sent over. But you know, he's got an M16A2. His helmet's a little bit advanced for the 80s, but it was the kind of thing that was in development at the time. So he's got kind of a future soldier vibe to him, and he's got a cool desert camo pattern. So you know, that was a fun thought exercise to work through that. How do we take this modern figure and how do we work that back to be something retro?
Yeah, and I mean this as a compliment because I think it means that you hit the sweet spot. But it looks very G.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yep. Like if you were gonna if the project was, hey, I need you to redesign Grunt to where he's something that looks a little bit more contemporary in 1987, that's the figure you come up with, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. We were real happy with how it came out.
All right. And so then, of course, the big reveal this week, too. Stretch goal number 4 is our Henchmen.
Yes, bro.
Tracksuit. And this is very much an army builder.
This one has been very well received. Yeah, we intend this as a troop builder. And the great thing about this figure, you know, when we talked about you know, the bigger world of Longbow, right? Because we're, you know, the good guys are fighting the Soviets, and now they're fighting Steel Web. But the fact is, as they're traveling all over the world, right, they're going to run into all kinds of bad guys along the way. You know, not always directly involved in their missions, but you know, as you're hopping around the globe trying to stop the Soviets, you're gonna run into undesirables in other places, right? Like, it's just gonna happen. And we thought we wanted some figures that were kind of, in a way, generic bad guys, but in really iconic looks that we thought we needed, right? And like this guy came along in development as a redeco, actually, originally, when we were looking at that Spetsnaz body, trying to figure out, okay, well, how do we redeco this and punch it up where it's cool and unique? And we had some other parts like the balaclava cut out of the mouth, and we came up with this one. For the longest time, we actually did not have this figure name till right before we went up on the Kickstarter. Full disclosure, everything before was just labeled Tracksuit Slav. That was what they were. That was what it was labeled, and we kept saying, well, we got to come up with a better name, but we never got to it. But we're happy with where we landed on that. But you know, there's a whole kind of I guess culture, you know, in Eastern Europe where the guys all wear the track suits, and this is the look. And There's a meme page called Squatting Slavs in Tracksuits that I started following for research purposes. And anyway, that's we tried to make this guy as much of that as we could. And he's got a rifle there. He's got a Molotov tail that we had originally designed for another figure, but when we got this guy around, we were like, yeah, he probably needs that too. And the Molotov is actually really interesting. We've already got that sculpted up. Even though not all of the figure is sculpted up. And what we did with the Molotov is we actually cut a channel in the back of it so that a vintage figure can hold it too. Not just ours with the flexible hands, but there'll be a channel cut in the back so you can put the fingers in the channel there.
All right.
I want to see how that fade comes out on the flame, right? Because that looks awesome.
Yeah.
And even though this guy screams troop builder, for me, he's a solo guy, right?
Is he a solo guy? Yeah.
I'm gonna call him like Boris, and he can't get anybody else to follow him in his crew, right?
Sure.
He's like the one-man tracksuit army. It's gonna be amazing.
Absolutely. Well, and it's a good design, right? When you think back, because there's a lot of Joe influence in this in Longbow, right? But there's a lot of other influence too. We pull a lot from 80s movies, from action movies, from TV shows, all kinds of things. I mean, this is a great catch-all, right? If you need a bank robber, this is your guy. If you need a terrorist, this is your guy. If you need a kidnapper, this is your dude right here. It's a really, really versatile figure, we think.
If you need an army of guys to fight your bronze bombers, here you go.
Here you go.
You guys need to promise me that the next tracksuit guy you make is grossly overweight.
A lot of plastic might cost more.
Sure. Look, I'm just saying that needs to happen. We need to have the tracksuit boss. But that was your other big news this week. And then after that, stretch goal number 5 is all hush hush.
Unless we can get there during the show,
right?
We get there during the show, which our fans will probably disappoint us with. So let's take a pledge tally here, and it's still 128,585. So yes, putting a goal out there for them to reach has resulted in 0 growth.
Well, considering how hard we ask them to like, subscribe, and share. They're there, but they don't take direction that well.
No, we've been stuck at 1040 for a while.
Been a while, right?
A while. I thought we'd hit 1,000, we'd hit 1,100 or something, and I'd quit. I could quit asking. I could quit caring about what our subscriber count was, right? Because really, once we get to a certain point, once we get to where we're comfortably in that monetization range, and we don't have to worry about it anymore, I don't care. It's done. Yeah. It's over with. It's finished. But no,
hey,
we're gonna sit right close to the line.
We're comfy here. Yeah. Hey, Mike, I got a thick crotch update.
Ooh, hey. That's a good use of your C+ Photoshop skills there, Mark.
Right, and quick too. Right. I made that joke like 8 minutes ago.
Right. That's pretty good. That is the C+iest of C+ Photoshop.
So if anybody was A, like Webb stopped talking, don't know why, and B, he's not even looking at the camera. What the hell's going on?
I was noticing that.
Yeah. I was not because I knew all this or wasn't interested. It was, that's not bad work, man, for 8 minutes.
No, it's pretty good. Again, I'll give you that. Yeah. You should have gone 86 Beachhead's head as opposed to the classified one, because as far as I know, there's no problems with the classified guys.
Yeah, I just had to get the head angle right. Yeah. To put over the girl, because I'm a stickler for accuracy. That's why I didn't trim out her long hair or anything, or fully cover up the girl in the red dress. But whatever.
He's got his summer balaclava on. It's fine.
It's worth what you paid for it.
And well, Jerry, things seem to have slowed on the tally board. Hopefully, the comedic stylings of Norm Crosby perks things up, as we have sent Rob spinning into a world of his own design. Oh my God.
That's right. That's new material there, folks.
Right.
We bust it out once every 3-4 years.
Right. Hey, look, got to keep that TikTok channel moving on something, right?
Photoshop dad joke.
It can't all be just puzzle templates with beachhead pictures.
Exactly.
Can't do all that. So let's talk pledge packages.
Yes.
Now with your campaign here, you pledge $25, you get a figure. And that's the figure of your choice, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Of anything the initial 4 or any that we unlock. Yep.
Okay. So right now that's 5 characters. Could be 6 if you guys got your butts in line, but apparently that's not going to happen until later. $96 or more means you get to choose any 4 figures. Now this isn't necessarily one of each. If you want four Spetsnaz army builders, this is what you would get, correct?
You can do it. Yep. You can pick what you want.
Okay.
Just like you in the store when you were a kid.
It's kind of like Target. It's like Target, except you actually get the toys at the end.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or like Walmart, except it's not an empty box.
Right, and the bots don't get them all first.
But and then you see the savings start to click in there. It's only $24 if you get 4 at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the 6-pack pledge is $139, and that's any 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get the interesting ones, the all-in. And you guys, you're on your 3rd run of all-ins.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it gets a little bit more expensive each time, but not terribly. So, like I was in the second grouping, and it was only $5 less than what this.
Yeah. We didn't move that out very far, and the all-ins went really fast. All-ins make up the largest representation of all of our backers by a fair march. We burn through those quick.
Not joking, guys. That's a really good sign, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
The biggest chunk of the collector base is like, I need it all, everything.
Yeah. And we know at that price, if we don't unlock enough figures, we're going to make that right with everybody. And we've got a formula for that. We're not getting into that real deep, but just understand that if for whatever reason we don't unlock enough stretch goals, we're going to make it at least worth the same value as what's in the pick 6. So,
all right. So right there, make your all-in worth more. Spread the word.
Yeah, in any Kickstarter, right, the all-in is a bit of a risk, right? Because if you don't fund very far, you're limited in what you can get. But the flip side is, if it takes off and you fund a lot, that all-in can become a very, very good value, over the long term. So it is, that's part of the fun part of doing it on Kickstarter, right? That's fun for us. That's fun for the backers, because we all get to speculate on how it's going to go and try some different things there. So,
John, do you agree?
Absolutely.
All right, good. We hadn't heard from you in a bit. I want to make sure you're still awake. Want to make sure you're still in there. It's the part of the show where Mike abuses the guy he's met once in person, right? Good plan, Mike.
Can't wait for the second meeting. I hope there's video.
I've only earned like a kick in the shin at this point, so it's not that bad.
I can only imagine just John just curb stomping you and Morgan lofting behind and going, "Get him! Get him!"
So just above the all-in level is the Dirty Dozen, which is $269. That is any 12 figures. And I imagine if that all-in, if stretch goals prove to be hard to come by, that Dirty Dozen is probably going to get popular.
Probably.
Then we start getting into what I call the Crazy Town pledges. The double all-in at $499. That's 2 of everything.
We sold a lot more of those than we expected too.
Yeah. You're on your 4th run of those. Holy cow!
We kept the numbers on those lower because we thought,
still
it's higher. Yeah, and still just Couldn't get enough of them around.
And then we got the Army Builder at $529. That is any 24 figures. So the folks in the chat that want to Army build Ghost, this is where you want to go.
Absolutely.
Let's be back another $10,000 in the next
Once
hour.
you have him, you can make him an Army Builder. That's fine.
Yeah.
Do whatever you need to do.
I got 42 Beachhead figures. You do what you want. And then we got the all-in plus 50 figures, which is also on its second go-through. And again, I understand it's a short run, but still, that is all-in plus any 50 figures. God bless you guys getting this kind of stuff. And then the double all-in plus 100 figures for $24.49. That is the like I would, but I have to drive a car, so I can't afford that one.
No, but that's like a Roman collectibles buy, right? Where they'll be filling up pegs with them and selling them for a while. And
Yeah, I mean,
I like it.
yeah, if anybody needs inventory, this is a great opportunity.
And then finally at $4,500, and this is of special note, I want to be an action figure someday. And I will read this straight off the website. Would you like to have your likeness on a real production Callsign Longbow action figure, which, for all intents and purposes, might as well be like a honest to God G.I. Joe. The I want to be an action figure someday pledge reward is the one for you. Backers who choose this level will get to live their dream of being a toy. Your face will be digitally sculpted on the retro style and added to a future Callsign Longbow similar action figure, likely 2024 to 2026. The backer will be involved in the process and given regular updates and behind-the-scenes look at Longbow development. Once the figure is created, you'll receive 10 of the figure when it becomes available. You'll also receive one of every item release, so it's also an all-in. Note that this figure will not be available as part of this initial Callsign Longbow Series 1 Kickstarter. Be developed and slated in for future products. The reward will not be delivered until 2 to 5 years down the road. This reward does carry more risk as it depends on future product releases. You've actually got somebody to take this one. Are they comfortable with you releasing their name?
We are not going to release their name.
Okay, no. All right. Look, I'm trying, man.
I know.
I am laying it on thick. I'm being complimentary. I've got thick at the crotch going on the ticker the entire time.
Does the name rhyme with Harold Befriest?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
I'm gonna get a message about that one, Mark.
Thanks a lot. I know the guy.
It's gonna send me a note. He does that from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Donnelly asks the impressive question, or the important question: when are we having Mike's beachhead intervention again? Well,
because the first one went so well.
You guys go ahead and plan. Whatever. I may not show, unless there's punch and pie, in which case I'll be there.
We'll get Colton there. There will be a punch.
Right.
We'll see about the pie. Maybe a cobbler.
Perhaps just not peach, please. Not peach. I don't like peach.
Okay.
Peach is terrible.
Hey, it's your intervention, man.
Right. Yeah, apple, blueberry, raspberry even is fine, but no peach. Peach cobbler is terrible. So mystery stretch goals, what are they?
Yeah.
No?
Wouldn't you like to know?
No, nothing. I tried something blunt there. I give it a shot.
Is that gotcha journalism?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's too lazy to be gotcha journalism.
Yeah. So, what's the next stretch goal?
So, hey, if you don't mind, what's the next stretch goal all about?
Here's a question from the comments. What's the next stretch goal?
Sean Russell asks if I were to buy the likeness level, will I be thick in the crotch? Yes, you will.
Yes, your figure will be thick in the crotch.
Yeah, from what I've heard, Sean, absolutely.
goodness. So yes, we have the initial push seems to be tailing off a little bit. Hopefully, we'll get a little bit going this weekend.
Sure.
We are certainly looking forward to doing our part to bang the drum for you here. And we've had a lot of viewers tonight, so hopefully when we're done here, they will go and check their bank accounts and empty them into your Kickstarter the way Mark and I did.
Well, remember, the best part is Kickstarter does not charge until the end of the campaign. So you've still got, 28 days to get the money around.
It's a full month. Yeah.
Before we send the tracksuit guy to come break your legs for
Right.
you.
That's it. 28 days or 4 paychecks. You can do it.
There's blood to sell. There's plasma to donate. Yeah, I mean it's you can do all kinds of stuff. There's other lesser toys to trade in. As you can visit our friends at Kokomo Toys, they'll buy it. They'll buy.
If you pre-ordered an expensive bat and a better, cheaper bat came out, and cancel that, save some money.
There you go.
Theoretically,
Just a thought.
just saying.
But so you guys, when you're in the planning stages for this over the last 11 months, you released images for a lot of characters. Now, are all of them slated to potentially be a part of this project, or is there some point where we're just capping it off and saying you're going to wait till wave 2?
Yeah, eventually the factory does cut you off, right? It's just like at the bar at night. You get to a point where they just say you've had enough, and you can't. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And there is a limitation to what we can produce right off the bat. So what we did is we had, just like I'm sure Mark was used to, we had a line meeting with some people that we consult with, members of our team. And we went through all of our proposed figures and we cut it down to a specific number based on that and which ones we thought would be, a balance, right? We wanted the strongest figures, but at the same time, you also don't want to shoot off everything all at once. You want to have stuff. Yeah. You want to have something for series 2 when you get around to series 2. So trying to make decisions on what would be in the Kickstarter versus what would get pushed back further. And that was an interesting and long process. We were on for a long time that night arguing about what would be in and what would be moved back, and we really tried to approach it from a standpoint of nothing was sacred. If there was something that fit better in this particular instance, we'd move it forward or back or whatever we needed to do. So we did pare down some. So not every character that we have shown up to this point will be in the Kickstarter, but that's because we showed a bunch of characters.
And you don't want to be predictable, right? Come on, man.
No, and that's true. And there's a number of figures for this Kickstarter that we have not shown yet. Right? There's some characters that we have intentionally held back because they were designed a little later, but we knew they were going to be in the Kickstarter, so we haven't shared all of that yet. And that's part of the fun part for us, right? Is when we're going to show stuff and how we're going to show it. And having people speculate before we get to it. That's the fun part on our end. So, we've been careful about that.
Now, speaking of reveals, I'm going to go ahead and get another check on our tally board.
Oh yeah.
Currently, Callsign Longbow with 28 days to go officially. 429 backers. We picked one up. $128,618. So we're up about.
Getting there. We're getting there.
We're making progress.
Yay, live stream. Yay, goals.
Yeah. Thank you to whoever that was.
Yeah.
Manischewitz. Probably somebody
Biff.
who's even watching.
Yeah.
Probably, the odds are that they are not amongst our 50 to 60 live watchers at this right exact moment.
Or they left the show to go to the Kickstarter, and now they're debating about coming back or not.
Right. So
Oh, no.
Josiah Alcorn has a question about the process. If you buy into a pledge where you get to pick figures, when do you get to do that? How's that going to go?
So what's going to happen? And this is the same way that the Marauder Kickstarter works and Skeletron's Kickstarters have worked. When the campaign wraps up, there will be a period of time, probably a month or two after the campaign wraps up, where we'll finalize pieces. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open up BackerKit, which is a separate fulfillment software and website. And if you back the Kickstarter, your pledge will carry over into the BackerKit. And when we get into BackerKit, that's where you'll be able to select which figures you want.
Or add 15 special.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When we get to BackerKit, you can also buy additional figures. So that's an option too. And we'll see, depending on where we land, there might be new things in the BackerKit. It just kind of depends on how far we get and what, we right now, it's all kind of fuzzy for us too, right? Because we don't know where we're going to end up. So we don't want to make any promises, but we'll see where things are at when we wrap up. But yeah, then when we get into BackerKit, you can always add additional product if you want additional figures so that you didn't get during the Kickstarter.
Yes. And just a reminder to everybody, this project is already so far over its funding goal. You don't have to play that game. Excuse me. You don't have to play that game where, I don't know if I want to back this. It's coming down to the last minute. We're not going to get cool stuff. Blah, 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 blah. That Kickstarter nonsense that goes out there. Pledge with confidence. Know that everything that you're throwing at this is going towards stretch goals and even more cool stuff. And so on and so forth. You can pledge with confidence. So my question now, since the factory's going to cut you off at some point, say everything just goes gangbusters between now and a month from now, you run out of stretch goals. How many figures are actually going to be in wave one if you just shoot the moon, Robo Skull style, and hit all of your goals?
We're not going to say specifically, but more than 10.
Okay. That's a full wave for a Kickstarter.
Yeah, we're wildly successful at that point, right?
Absolutely.
You guys move on from Kickstarter project heads to entrepreneurs at that point.
Yeah.
And a gentleman with a familiar name asks, what's the next stretch goal after the Henchmen?
It's a good question.
I like how you slid
ask
that
your dad to ground you.
It's a good question. Kind of a lame answer, but all right.
Right.
I'll allow it.
Oh.
Well, I can tell you that it is a mystery. That's what it is.
Absolutely. Wrapped in an enigma.
The first thing he says in an hour, and it's something like that. Come on, John. Come on, John.
John's a sniper, man. Just sitting up in the tree line.
Josiah Alcorn asks, I could have sworn I saw promotion art with Escape from New York posters. Where did I see that? That was on Facebook. That was on the Callsign Longbow Facebook page, probably amongst some other places.
Yeah, that was. We post those to Facebook and Instagram, and every Friday we've been doing a parody 80s movie poster. So we started with Full Metal Jacket, and then Scarface, and then we did Escape from New York, and then we've got a few more coming here throughout the campaign.
Pretty in Pink, no doubt.
Absolutely, Breakfast Club. We've got.
You could totally do tracksuit guy walking across the football field.
Well,
now you've gone and given him an idea.
Hold on, I'm going to be quiet for 8 minutes.
That's that wave 2 redeco, baby. That's.
Let me fire up the Photoshop machine. You got back.
Okay, good question from Diana Davis. Are there plans for accessory packs or small play sets?
John, you want to take that one?
Yeah. We do want to do accessory packs. That's something that we wanted to do from the beginning, and we definitely want to do small play sets. I believe we showed a few of them at Joe Fest last year. We're not going to do that in this Kickstarter because it kind of muddies the water for the factory, and we don't want to put that on them right now. We wanted to focus on getting as many figures as we could out there, see how we do with the Kickstarter, see how we do with the backer kit, and then from there decide when and how we're going to do other non-figure things.
And the last time Troy was on, he did show us some concept art for a light vehicle. And Matthew Comstock is asking there too. What about vehicles? That same situation?
Yes.
Okay. So patience. Perhaps if everybody went and pledged and got the next stretch goal done, they would tell us if they had vehicles.
Yeah.
So here's one for you, Mark, and for me. Is there something specific you want to see as a stretch goal, Mark?
I would say age before beauty. So that's me. The one, like, I love the way the line was built, just from a kind of basic brand management standpoint, and the way the stretch goals to come have been announced. The one thing that I haven't seen yet, it doesn't have to be in wave one, but love to see a female figure, right? Whatever side that's on, or of the three, I guess, or anything like that. But no overall line is complete without some female representation. But don't misquote me here. Yeah, I'm not saying it has to be in this, but yeah, that's something I would like to see down the road, and I'm sure you guys have that well in hand.
Yeah.
Maybe as a next stretch goal, who knows?
Yeah. And I mean, we definitely want to do female figures. Let me say it this way. If not during this Kickstarter, at some point, we absolutely want to get to female characters, and we've looked into that. So
There we go.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge expense that people don't necessarily understand. Like, it's a whole different buck, and it's a whole other setup. So the fact that way
it's
back
actually a whole different dough.
Well, if we're just going to be, super specific about it, sure. But going back to the day in 1981 when Hasbro was developing Real American Hero, it was considered a pretty big expense to add that one female figure to the initial assortment. So a startup like you guys, we totally get it if it's not there right off the bat. We
appreciate that.
We won't hold it against you until wave 2.
Yeah.
We can be bought if you reveal some stretch goals.
That's it. Yeah. So yeah, just to be clear,
just in advance.
The question was, what would I like to see? That's what I'd like to see, but I understand it might not be right away.
Okay, so Matt O'Brien was not paying attention before. If someone is double all in for the Kickstarter, but let's say only 8 figures are available, 4 original plus 4 stretch, what does that mean for that person's financial investment?
So what we're doing with the all-ins, right? We said that we would then let's take this very specific example, okay?
Okay.
And we're just going to deal with this example, right? So if somebody had a double all-in here, and only 8 figures were available, what we would do is we would take that initial all-in, right? If this were one all-in, we'd take those 8 figures. And then whatever else we had to give you to get to that value where you were getting the same value as the pick 6, you would get to pick additional figures. And for the double all in, that just gets doubled, right? Because you're going to get 2 of everything up to that point, and then we're gonna make it right with you beyond that with pick figures.
All right. So yeah, short all in means more picks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Josiah Alcorn add another question here. Any plans to synergize comic characters with Marauder's head sculpt inspirations, like the Hawaiian shirt guy from the Vietnam line?
I guess I'd need a little more detail specifically what you're asking with that. But a lot of these characters, when we design them, we got somebody in mind when we do those heads. So, but yeah, we're always thinking about who guys are going to look like.
Zach Quam has a great question. In every wave, will there be another colored tracksuit guy?
We can't guarantee that in every wave, but we really like the idea of a henchman of some kind, at least once a year, maybe, if we could make that happen. So
I'm hanging in there for wave 8 pink sparkly tracksuit guy.
Yeah, and if there's a lot of demand there, I would never say never.
Again. Travis Moody asks, The carded figures are traditionally sealed, right? So you got to rip open the card back to take the figure out.
Yes. Yes. You have to get your fingernail underneath there and just tear that sucker open like when you were a kid.
Or maybe just get the butter knife and just kind of pop it
Right.
off.
And if that's a problem for you, buy two.
Yeah, there you go. That's what that double all in is for.
Yeah.
The only exception to that will be the retro op figures, and if we get to a point where we have any Kickstarter exclusive unlocks, those will come bagged, like a mail away figure from the 80s used to come. So that's our one variation on that, just because we thought that'd be a fun way to denote those figures.
Daniel McGovern says, just pledged.
There you go.
Thank you.
Get on the screen there. One for now, but probably more before it's over. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
That's the What's on Joe Mind push in action.
Every one of them helps us get closer. So
Right above him, man of action. He's in.
Yeah.
He's all in. He gets more Spetsnaz.
That's it.
Those Spetsnaz are pretty awesome. I have to say, that's a troop builder for you. That's pretty outstanding.
Yeah, and he, of all of the ones we've shown, that one is probably it's not 100% accurate, but it's probably the most realistic of all the ones we've shown. We stuck pretty close to traditional gear on that guy. So
Phil Donnelly says blind bag tracksuit wave.
There we go.
Oh, so good. Pimp Daddy tracksuit. Now we're talking.
It's a good idea, Philip.
Tiger Force tracksuit. So good.
They asks his familiar question. Any
to be clear, that's the same thing he asked at the bakery on Sunday. That's the same thing he asked at his barber shop. A model of consistency.
We do have a character that we've shown that's a Soviet airborne guy, a VDV trooper. So not gonna say never. That's out there. So
hey man, I'm just saying, speed it up. You might be the first toy line with a paratrooper.
Torpedo Mike, of course, the ingenious idea, Chase variant clear tracksuit guy.
Oh, there you go. See, we could get some really cool gimmicky tracksuit guys, right? We could do a glow in the dark. We could do a couple of different things there.
Do not give away the soft invisibility secret. And yes, onesie henchmen are the future.
No, romper henchmen. Look out. Or Zubaz henchmen. But can you imagine the paint-offs? Like, oh.
Yeah, that'd be brutal. The sending paint masters to Dave Proctor.
Yep.
All day.
Fielding lawsuits from the state of the Road Warriors. Like, you don't want to know that.
So we'll let them a couple more questions percolate, but while we're waiting for that to happen, let's move forward into what we got in.
Oh boy.
We humble brag about the stuff that's hit our mailbox in recent weeks. John, you're our guest. What have you gotten in recently?
I got a couple of Sideshow 12-inch Hot Toys Stormtroopers this week. I've been paying on them for a year, so finally delivered.
Dude, those are nice.
You're not going to show them on camera? You're not going to flash them?
No, they're in the not this room. So
yeah.
You can write them off as a business expense.
They're in the other toy vault.
They're in the vault.
Fair enough.
Troy McKee, what'd you get in?
I got John Spartan from Demolition Man. I was at a local show a while back, and a guy had two of the Wesley Snipes figures, the Simon Phoenix figures from Demolition Man, carded, and they had sat there all day, and I thought they were kind of cool. So I went to the ATM, and when I got back, another guy had bought them right before I got back, and I had never needed Demolition Man figures. until then. And now apparently I need demolition
Right?
figures. So
That's a Pandora's box, man. You are going to pay for the Rob Schneider figure. Let me tell you.
yeah, so that's my only one recently.
But you've been busy, so I get it.
Yeah.
But question from the crowd.
Oh, good.
What are the secret stretch goals?
Diana's got the she's figured it out.
Where are we at? What are we up to?
I guess we'll take another look at the tally.
Yeah.
Did we clear that? Or we
Check it.
Let's check the tally board.
So,
Drum roll, please. And $128,950.
we're getting there.
we're making it, man.
We've thrown another $400.
How have you not photoshopped 138,000 on there yet?
Yeah, I'm actually sharing off of the internet. I'm not that cool. I don't have Mark Webber levels of Photoshop skill.
Nah.
Like he's
Nah.
a C minus. I'm an F, man. You've seen my thumbnails. They're no good.
I always told designers when I would show them something I put together, I have yellow belt Photoshop skills. So I can give you a visual idea of what I'm thinking, but don't, because a lot of marketers will overstep like that. Hey, I put together this logo. Like, cool. Pat you on the head, marketer. You go back to your cave. Wait a minute. A sense of disturbance in the force.
So as with all telethons, when does Troy sing "You'll Never Walk Alone"?
That's a good point.
You don't want that.
I mean, we do, but we
No,
don't.
we want more pledges. we don't want people to go, I'm not sure I trust that guy anymore.
Nope, there was a Weber child sighting. So we all got a drink.
That's what I do.
Salud.
That's it.
Thanks for joining in, guys. Way to be part of the team.
Yeah, he won his basketball game today. Just saying.
There you go. How come you're not saddling the boy with your own terrible basketball skills, Mark?
The trick was when I got into basketball late growing up, and my friends were merciless on me. So if ever there was just a pickup game, they would know that Webb was the worst guy on the court, and they would just harass me. So every time I got the ball, I got triple teamed because they all knew it was like free candy, right? Who wants the ball? Go harass Webb. So it was terrible. I never got a chance to get any better, and I never decided to work on it to really show them. I was just like, I like basketball. I'm just terrible at it. So my son has already far eclipsed me.
Fair enough. So you weren't good enough to play on his team, is what you're saying.
No, I'm terrible. Literally, 2 weeks ago was my first basketball game ever, where there was a scoreboard. And here's the deal. I'm not an idiot, right? They said it was call your own fouls. So the very first time I missed a shot, I pulled an actual ref whistle out of my pocket and blew it, stopped the whole gym. And I'm like, on the arm, right there, 2 shots. And everybody's like, okay. And then we're only playing on half of the court. So a minute later, I called a foul in the other game. And the guy running was like, okay, that's enough with the whistle. And I'm like, it was funny twice. I wasn't going to do it a third time. That's a comedy rule, right?
I mean, really, Mark, it was funny once.
Yeah, but the second time it got a chuckle, right? It was like, oh. And then I learned I could set screens, so now I can do a different thing. But yeah, whatever.
Here's a good question for you guys. You going to Joe Fest?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. There you go. Look for Troy at Joe Fest. John, you got all right.
Yeah, and it'll be so much better now that we funded. I was a little worried going into it that if we didn't, Joe Fest was going to be really sad.
Be a very different show for you.
Ben Conway asked, Troy and John, who is the favorite figure that you've developed and why is it the Red Ninja?
Oh, who is my favorite figure that we've developed?
And why is it the Red Ninja?
And why is it the Red Ninja? I actually, I don't know. I'm pretty partial to the Henchmen at this point. The reaction to the Henchmen has been very good, and that has made me feel very good. John, what's your favorite so far?
So far that we released is Ghost.
That we've released.
Ghost is one of the stretch goals with the other guys, right? What are their names?
With Outlaw, and with Retro Ops, and with the Henchmen.
And the other one.
That's all there is right now.
Just checking. That's Mike's birthday tomorrow, damn it.
It's the first show since the launch of the Kickstarter, and we're not getting bupkis.
Throw him a bone.
Bupkis.
We're making progress.
Absolutely.
I mean, we are making progress here, guys. You don't know. We might take off here in the next few minutes.
Let's hit the tote board. Let's hit the tote board.
Operators are standing by.
And hey, actual
Hey!
size
Told you.
232.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There we go. That's close. I think we deserve a bone.
Look, it's like we mobilized our entire subscriber base and they all donated $1. So it's like they were willing to round up their purchase. So I mean, respect, right? Come on.
Let the record show how badly we whore for bonus content.
That's it.
But is Sergeant Slaughter the plentiful? He's holding toy line these days.
I
You
said
know,
that.
we have got to figure out how to get him in Longbow. I'm starting to feel like we are really missing out here.
Right.
Right? I'll take you down, Steel Web.
No, the jaw dropper will be we'll get to a stretch goal and it'll be Callsign Longbow presents Corporal Kirchner. Hey!
Mark Weber, what you get in this week?
Okay, this was a good week, but I'll go through it quick. This was the week, happens about twice a year, because I don't have to get my toys right away, right? As long as I know they're coming. So, unabashed plug, Big Bad Toy Store gets a lot of my business. They're a little bit more expensive, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get your toys, but they always come immaculately packed, and I can save them up and have Christmas in May. So it became, you got to send, pile of loot, right? Got to send it or you lose something. So I got this is an upgrade kit to the leader Grimlock. So I'm a Grimlock honk. So you get a sword, you transform. Really, hey, what did I do? How come I don't get top billing?
Will you relax? This happens every time.
It's my toy. I'm not a big third-party guy, but when it's an add-on kind of thing, I'm a little more amenable to it. Here's my first reaction figure ever, because I'm not big on 5 points of articulation, but I like that they're doing a cartoon Baroness. I can put her in a hiss tank and no one will know the difference. So
We'll know.
there you go. More. Well, yeah, I suppose. I love this line that they're doing on Transformers. The studio series. So here's Brawn, one of the little guys who was the strongest Autobot, and he was like 2 inches tall. So I'm always been fond of Brawn. I'm running out of room to put him. Let's see.
He had little T-Rex arms too in that first toy.
He did. This is Bulkhead, who I always thought he was a good character from the animated series. I'm glad they're putting him in the main line. So, welcome, Bulkhead. There's 3 of these guys. Took me forever, but we're finally alley vipering. So that's great. And then my favorite Transformer ever, redone again in Masterpiece. This is Skywarp, who was always my favorite guy. And the packaging is even more of a tease because it's just like plain brown wrapper, right? I got to get into this so I can enjoy it. But that is about as big a toy haul as I've had in God knows how long. So it's a good week at Weber House.
Phil Donnelly adds that Braun's only the strongest Autobot till he gets hit in the
Who
shoulder.
knew? His Achilles shoulder.
His Achilles shoulder.
Yeah,
It's a tough one.
that's a good point.
He's harsh but fair.
I think that was probably
Hello.
Here, hang on. What'd you get in, Mike?
I kept it simple. I got number 43. I didn't even spoil earlier in the episode when I said I still had 42. I needed to pat him on the head a little bit to reassure him that he was going to hang around. But that's what I got in this week. That's all. It was one of those weird eBay purchases that I wasn't sure I made. Like I made it was just sitting there for a while. It was one of those that didn't have a time limit, but it had a best offer. So I made an offer that was way below what the price was. And apparently he took it. The email got buried. So all of a sudden I'm getting this message, oh, well, this is shipped and paid for and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? Because normally when I make an offer like that to something that's overpriced, it either gets ignored or they'll send me back an offer that I'll see. And then I'll probably not buy it because it'll still be overpriced. But this one, they just took it. Okay. Yeah, and I'm a cheap ass even on eBay. So I have a line that I don't cross for these things, and I still haven't crossed it. So more power, yay me. You can get vintage Joes for okay prices if you're just patient and work with people. But
glad my dog calmed down.
Yeah, was that a dog? Paloma.
Good to know the mailman alert system still works at 10:45 at night.
Your dog is setting off Diana's dog time zones away.
Man's best.
Let's roll it right into shout outs. John Kukovic, who we shouting out to?
Hey, I'm gonna shout out to Troy this time around.
What?
Man, we've just kicked ass this week. I just got to be honest. And it's been a great week and 3 years of work come down to this. And Tuesday was a great day. We were on the phone together all day while we watched this thing tick away, and it was worth every bit of it. So that's my shout out.
Thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now this will be awesome if Troy doesn't shout out back.
It won't hurt my feelings.
No pressure.
Troy,
now,
who we
now I feel like I need to shout out John because we did have an amazing day, but even more so than that, I'm going to give a shout out to all of our backers because you guys helped us make this possible and to get us across the finish line in fantastic time, and we are so appreciative of your support and for everybody, and it doesn't matter what level anybody's at. We just appreciate that you're interested and that you're willing to support the line, and we just want to bring you the kinds of figures you want. So that's my big shout out.
Very good one, and not only funding the goal, but you got past the stretch goal already too.
We did. We got past the first stretch goal. Yeah.
And soon we'll be past the second one, in which point stretch goal number 5 will be revealed.
Just a couple minutes.
Any moment now.
It's not up to me. It's not up to me.
We're waiting on you, Sancho My Nation. Come on. So remember who we shout out to.
Well, let me do this I'll make it quick, but since I love sharing the screen. So I've touted this guy before. It's called Luke's Toy Box. It's on Facebook. He casts new heads for vintage G.I. Joe figures and hand paints them. So
can you zoom that in? There you go.
So he's got the Baroness here. Like the hair is phenomenal, right? So, and he makes really small batches. So I'm not saying, hey, help him get through this. They might not even be available anymore, but he does really good work. And here's his Flint with a removable beret. Because Flint's original beret was just a disaster, right?
Yeah, Flint in '85 suffered from a little bit of the tiny head syndrome.
Yeah, and the way too floppy beret syndrome. So anyway, he says Storm Shadow, Ace are next. I was always a big Ace honk. So I love what this guy does, and it's just him, and he hand paints everything, so nothing comes fast. But if you're interested in this kind of stuff, he is Luke's Toy Box on Facebook, and he does really, really good work. That's my shot.
Excellent. I'm going to give a shout out to the co-hostess with the co-mostess, Joe Colton. Hope she has safe travels to Tidewater Comic Con, has a good time, maybe sends us some pictures or some video that we can share with you later. Fingers crossed. Of course, she won't see this because she never watches the shows that she's not on.
She doesn't watch the shows she is on.
Sometimes, but you know, we give some leeway because her job's like important.
Yeah, oh yeah.
As opposed to my job and your job, which are not so much important.
I didn't come on the show much when I had an important job.
That's true. That's usually once a year.
As much as whenever I could break off the leash.
Right. Whenever we could ferret you away to a clandestine location where the Hasbro upper wonks were too scared to tread.
That's it.
But give a shout out to Joe Colton and of course the wrist lock Wes Whitlock, who is in tow and in costume with her. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors at Kokomo Toys. We'll take a second here and thank them through song by singing the world famous Kokomo theme song. Kokomo.
Happy birthday! Oh,
I will mute your ass. Kokomo Toys. Come on, Troy and John. Kokomo Toys.
So, dear Mike.
John Kukovich, that is a Joe Colton level of singing the Kokomo theme song, and I'm
representing.
We are here to promote your project, and you can't even sing the sponsor's theme song. That is terrible. That's the quote for the day, by the way. I will mute your ass. I'm glad some people pay attention to me. I'm glad occasionally people listen to me.
We need to put that on a shirt, I think.
Right. I mean, yeah, we need all kinds of shirts. I haven't had time to design shirts. And we'll take one more look at the tally board. I don't think we're going to quite do it. We're going to come up just short. But we have 29,547.
Good job, guys.
There we go.
Nice.
We'll be back tomorrow for another edition of the telethon.
Matthew Comstock says we need What's on Joe Mind mugs. There are What's on Joe Mind mugs. Go down to the swag store link down below and order yourself a mug.
That's it.
Come on, guys. We give you links. We give you links. But Vagon says the bump is real. The bump is real. We don't we don't have projects that fail on this program. We make fun of ourselves when things inch along the way that this has, but we back when we get behind you, we get behind you. We throw it everything we can at these things for our pals and for folks in the community that want to design and provide fun for G.I. Joe fans. So I like to think that the bump is real, and the bump is real because of the great folks who watch our program. And that's another shout out. Whether you're watching us live on YouTube, if you are, thank you. Please go ahead and give us a subscription if you haven't already. Like our video, that's a good one. Come back and leave a comment because that gets us into the algorithms and all that other good stuff. If you're watching us on Facebook, there too, leave a comment, leave us some kind of a reaction, give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a little huggy guy. Little hangry guy. We love all of them, frankly. We love little huggy guy the most.
No, angry guy.
Mark loves little angry guy the most.
He's the most honest.
Maybe the folks who show up on Facebook aren't angry.
No, I'm just saying, maybe you're like, well, am I a huggy guy, or am I like, or do I love it enough to love it? But angry guy is just like, man, I'm so pissed. Done.
Look, it's uncomplicated, but that doesn't mean that it's honest.
Sure.
It's uncomplicated. I'll spot you that. It is pure.
They made fun of me. Now I must hate them. Like, totally. And I'm like, you're not special. We make fun of lots of people.
Right.
To be more specific.
If you're watching us on recording, we love you too. It still counts the same.
Most of you.
Right. But by all means, do the same thing. We're always happy to have views and folks spreading our word and our version of the gospel, as it were. We couldn't do it without you. We wouldn't do it without you, because that would.
We might, but
we might.
Yeah, we might.
Often
for a while, for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Give a shout out to our guests, Troy McKee, John Kukovich from Grindstone Toys, the folks who brought you the wonderful Callsign Longbow products that you are currently pledging for on Kickstarter.
That's right.
That's right. Mark's got a patch. We'll throw the screen up there one more time. We'll do one last live look in, because I'm addicted to these things at this point. Where are we? There's my refresh button. There we go. Still exactly the same. 29,547, 434 backers. So we're up 6 backers in the last.
Yeah, I mean, we made great progress tonight, guys.
Dude, there's a chunk of people waiting for the show to finish, and then they're going to go take care of their business. And I respect that too.
We did try to pass along to these folks that waiting until the end means that we're probably not going to get stretch goal numbers.
Not live anyway.
Right.
Yeah. But if it happens a minute after the show, damn it, we'll be right back. Because there ain't nothing what's on Joe Mind likes better than helping our friends. No, I mean, than taking a victory lap.
That exactly.
We like the victory lap.
We're all about the victory lap. And so yeah, there you have it. It's Callsign Longbow time. Stand up, pledge your hard-earned monies and be counted, and get some great 80s style full ring compatible with G.I. Joe toys. Any last words from our fine guests?
I got to bounce.
There we go. He remembered. I'm proud of him. Unlike me with the Morgan Lofting story last week, he remembered.
Right.
And remember always, pledge with confidence. This is already funded. It is done, signed, sealed, delivered. We're in this for stretch goals, and we're in this for a ton of stretch goals. Callsign Longbow is quality product and thick in the crotch.
With flexible hands.
With flexible hands.
With flexible hands, which you need when you're thick in the crotch.
That doesn't run together like I thought it would, but okay.
With wrist joints. With
That's marketing, baby.
I mean, anyways, I don't want to get you in trouble at this point.
Wait, check the subscriber. Check the Kickstarter. I bet it just leaped.
I mean, yeah, wrist joints did the job. Wrist joints is where it's at.
No, I think it's all about the innuendo.
And let's see, exactly the same.
All right. You know what?
547.
No, I'm not going to call them out because we love them, but I think the website is actually frozen. That's what I think.
Entirely possible.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is a Kickstarter error, right?
Yeah.
There's something wrong with the database or the servers or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Troy, lean forward and hit F5 again.
Soft hands and a nice smile.
There
Well,
you go.
let's turn it into a different kind of podcast. But for my co-host Mark Weber, for my guest host Troy McKee, John Kukovich, thank you again, gentlemen. We'll have you back at some point. If you need us coming down the stretch, if we're getting close to some mystery 11th stretch goal that you don't want to reveal live, by all means, be here for you.
Yep.
I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. As our friend Vagon says, stay safe if you can't, be careful. Have a great rest of the weekend. Happy birthday to me.
That's right.
And, yo, Joe.
Beer.